Russian motorcyclists are unable to escape Ukrainian FPV drone attacks. Russian soldiers who attempted to counter the drone attacks with their motorcycles were disappointed. Stay tuned for more details and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. June 25, 2025. Ukrainian reconnaissance units detect a Russian military staging area. The units relay the necessary information to the Ukrainian Air Force to completely destroy the enemy command center. The Air Force directs a MiG-29 fighter jet toward the target. Upon reaching the target, the jet fires a guided bomb. The bomb hits the building used by the enemy army with precision. The high destructive power of the bomb causes complete destruction of the enemy target. This successful attack by the Ukrainian Air Force completely destroys an enemy command center. June 25, 2025. The 148th Zhytomyr. Separate mechanized artillery brigade of the Ukrainian army is firing accurate shots at enemy lines. Through coordinated efforts with reconnaissance units, enemy targets were hit with precision strikes. Russian forces' deployment points, infantry, and artillery systems were among the targets destroyed. The Ukrainian army responded to Russian forces' attacks on civilians by delivering heavy blows to the enemy with artillery fire. Thanks to the coordinated efforts of reconnaissance drones, FPV, kamikaze drones, and artillery units, the targets were destroyed in a short time. June 24, 2025. A Russian soldier is trying to camouflage himself by pretending to be dead, but an FPV kamikaze drone launches a fierce attack on the infantry, and the fake becomes real. A Russian vehicle disguised as a civilian vehicle is being tracked by a reconnaissance drone. As the enemy vehicle enters the garage, it is destroyed by an FPV kamikaze drone attack. Russian infantry attempting to hide from Ukrainian drones in forested areas are targeted by a drone operator's precise attack. The soldiers mistakenly believe that the drones cannot enter the trees. The FPV kamikaze drone attacks shown in these images against the Russian army are carried out by volunteer units of the Ukrainian army. These units are working in the army both materially and physically to defend Ukrainian territory against enemy forces. They are also coming to the fore with their successful drone attacks every day. June 24, 2025. The Ukrainian army is not only targeting Russian ground vehicles. Every day, countless enemy unmanned aerial vehicles are also being destroyed. One of the units carrying out these destruction operations is the drone operators affiliated with the Signum Battalion. Enemy aircraft detected in the Lyman direction were neutralized. The Russian army uses unmanned aerial vehicles as reconnaissance vehicles. These vehicles were transmitting coordinates to artillery systems. As a result, Ukrainian forces destroyed these reconnaissance vehicles, blinding Russian artillery systems. 5 reconnaissance UAVs were targeted and shot down during the operation. 4 Zayla, Russian-made reconnaissance drones operating at high altitudes. 1 Supercam, an advanced targeting system used to detect Ukrainian positions and direct artillery fire. June 25, 2025. Russian forces were conducting trials with light vehicles to attack Ukrainian front lines in the direction of Pokrovsk. The effective work of Ukrainian forces in the area quickly detected enemy vehicles. A Russian vehicle was being tracked by an FPV kamikaze drone. However, enemy forces were hit by a mine previously laid by Ukrainian forces in the area. Despite the explosion, the enemy vehicle continues to advance. However, the FPV kamikaze drone continues to track the enemy forces. It quickly approaches the rear of the damaged vehicle. Enemy infantry comes face-to-face with the kamikaze drone. The Ukrainian Army's Flying Skull unit also targeted other enemy vehicles and infantry in the area. The area where enemy forces were located was engulfed in flames during the operation, which involved the use of FPV kamikaze drones. June 25, 2025. Point-blank shooting of Russians in Kherson. Murom system, hidden soldiers, and crew. Inside a boat destroyed, the Southern Defense Forces carried out a coordinated drone attack in the Kherson region, striking 3 separate targets simultaneously. First, the Murom surveillance complex, used by the Russian Army for border surveillance and movement detection, was identified and blown up by an FPV drone. Immediately afterward, a Russian infantryman attempting to hide in bushes was identified by the thermal camera of a reconnaissance drone and neutralized with a direct hit. In the final strike, a group of Russian soldiers traveling in a small riverboat was struck by a kamikaze drone and destroyed in the water. The moment of the explosion was clearly recorded. After the attack, all movement in the area came to a complete halt. The Russian side lost its communication and observation capabilities. A surveillance system was destroyed. A soldier was killed. A unit was hit in the water. This operation once again demonstrated that multiple targets can be hit with precision FPV strikes at the same time. Spotted, approached, destroyed. This is the Ukrainian FPV drone unit Makar's Birds, detecting enemy forces moving in light vehicles. Units are tracking the enemy's advance. There were previously laid mines in the area. As the enemy convoy enters the mined area, explosions begin. Panic erupts within the enemy convoy. Russian soldiers attempt to flee the area quickly in their vehicles. FPV kamikaze drone operators begin pursuing the fleeing enemy infantry. Within a short time, the FPV drones begin capturing enemy soldiers. However, a motorcyclist and an ATV-mounted infantryman from the enemy convoy continue to escape. Reconnaissance drones have the enemy under close surveillance. Shortly thereafter, the ATV hits a mine. The motorcyclist is targeted by a kamikaze drone. A violent explosion occurs, and the infantryman is neutralized. While Ukrainian forces were conducting reconnaissance in the area, they identified new enemy targets. Enemy forces were again advancing toward the front lines in light vehicles. However, they were quickly stopped by FPV kamikaze drones. Here is one of those moments. Russian soldiers are advancing on motorcycles with sidecars. Suddenly, an FPV kamikaze drone appears in front of them. After a violent explosion, one of the enemy infantrymen is neutralized. The other 2 infantrymen cannot hide their shock. Another enemy infantryman is speeding forward on a motorcycle. A kamikaze drone belonging to Ukrainian forces launches a fierce kamikaze attack on the moving infantryman. The infantryman continues forward for a short while, but is unable to advance due to the impact of the drone's attack. Ukrainian military intelligence continues its operations on the front lines and behind enemy lines with domestically produced unmanned aerial vehicles. Targets include ammunition depots, air defense systems, military facilities, and armored vehicles. The Ukrainian defense industry is developing highly reliable drone systems for military intelligence units. These systems not only strike targets on the front lines, but also neutralize strategic points deep behind enemy lines. Footage shows local UAVs conducting operations against enemy lines, recorded second by second. Beyond their attack missions, these UAVs have become the eyes of intelligence. Drones detect Russian troop movements, logistics routes, position changes, and operational adjustments in real time. The UKRDJ company has become one of the most reliable UAV suppliers for units affiliated with the Ukrainian Defense Ministry's Intelligence Directorate, GURMO. Its products successfully perform their tasks even under electronic warfare conditions and offer a wide range of operational capabilities. Ukraine's technological superiority in intelligence is growing stronger every day. June 25, 2025. FAB bombs equipped with UMPK guidance kits accurately hit their targets in Zaporizhia. The bombs successfully struck their targets, causing significant destruction along enemy lines. Images obtained after the attack clearly showed the extent of the destruction of Russian forces. Many enemy soldiers were neutralized after the attack. This attack, deep inside Russian lines, demonstrates the strength of Ukraine's airstrike capabilities. The combination of domestic ammunition and modern guidance systems is having a devastating effect on the front line.